I'm a woman. I said, what?
He's a monster.
Dave Chappelle special came and went like a wet fart in the dead of night. But the wet fart you thought nothing of left a mess in your underpants that was too poggers to ignore. In the long ago, arbiters of the moral authority used to be the religious right whack jobs. They would protest music, movies, comedies, burn CDs, posters, and such in effigy. They even went to Congress to have hearings over rock music. Tipper Gore, the wife of Al Gore, best known for her South Park episodes.
Half man, half bear, and half peg. Do you see it?
Yes, we see it, Mr. Gore.
Something big is going on, and the American people need to know what. I'm off!
She looked old and lame even when she was young, baby. The Congress meetings over censorship in music brought out unlikely bedfellows such as Frank Zappa, Dee Snider, and John Denver of all people. You may know him for the famous Fallout 76 song.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong.
And this was around the late 80s. It then reared its ugly head again in the mid-90s, when Marilyn Manson was on the chopping block and catching heat for the Columbine shootings.
We want Mr. Manson to know that he can't have our children. God loves our children more, and he can't have them.
Yeah, lady. Marilyn Manson and Satan are chomping at the bit to have your slack-jawed children that look like baby Huey.
Marilyn Manson can walk into our town and promote hate, violence, suicide, death, drug use, and Columbine-like behavior. I can say, not without a fight, you can't.
And even before that, the 1950s saw Lenny Bruce arrested multiple times for obscenity charges for his comedy shows and routines. He became a martyr for the art form and paved the way for many future comedians today. But don't forget George Carlin was also arrested for his 7 dirty words. And now we see the same thing playing out again in the modern age, slightly different, though the same. The woke mobs of today justify anything that they do as inherently good, no matter what the cost. They only care about winning, deplatforming, and canceling, while wearing their Eat the Rich or Tax the Rich shirts, while also supporting politicians and political influencers and making them obscenely rich in the process, while constantly moving the goalposts. What was once the millionaires were bad, then become the billionaires, and so on. Frankly, God is dead, and social media has killed him, and dare I say, it has replaced him. Christian groups and the right-leaning conservatives that were really into Jesus, they would go after video games that they thought were corrupting the children. Oh my God, would someone think about the children?
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
And now look at us. The Dave Chappelle closer special has shown me one thing. The faces may change, but the hassles are still the same. The LGBTQ, along with many other left-leaning and hyper-progressives, have taken the place of the super Catholic mobs of people. Now the arbiters of what is good and acceptable are usually wearing a bad wig and a dress.
No, you cannot joke about that.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Gundam.
They no longer have normal pronouns. You have to call them bugbug or kittenself, they, them, and all this other crap, these loops and holes you gotta jump through for this person's massive ego.
For the demon pronouns, it would be Liana is my partner, Deem is cute, and I belong to Deem.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Now we live in a world where we long for the days of hipsters and conservatives. Dave Chappelle's special, which many of us would have just looked at and forgotten, has now taken on a life of its own. Ever since it was aired on Netflix, many people seem to have enjoyed it. If you look at the audience scores, it's, above 90? Don't worry, all the critics rated it very low. And at this point, it's not about the comedy special in and of itself. It's now becoming something bigger. I'm sorry, it's average Americans kind of taking a stand with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle himself predicted everything that is now happening. He himself said that it would be met with scrutiny and anger. He even said that there'll be news articles stating his comedy special punches down. And I'll be damned if the man wasn't right, because literally these articles started cropping up yet again.
Analyze the rest of Eastern Europe, because that's punching down. And comedy never punches down, it only punches up. I've read that from 50 people that never did comedy. They all said the punch. But, all right.
The bigger message of Dave Chappelle's special was completely and utterly lost on most of mainstream journalism. I would dare say some even used it as an opportunity to spread misinformation and anger to generate clicks and interest. The Verge comes to mind. Netflix suspends trans employees who tweeted about Dave Chappelle's special. If you go to the tweet itself, I'm not going to hunt it down because The Verge tweets like a teenage girl. They have so many tweets, like digging through it to get to what I want is just painfully annoying. Maybe I could Google search it, but I kind of had it. I do remember when this tweet dropped, it was full of people acting like Dave Chappelle was Adolf Hitler. I haven't seen the trans movement vilify someone so quickly since the chick who wrote Harry Potter. And whatever she said, I don't recall it being that bad, but I swear to God, the trans movement now acts like anything Harry Potter is Mein Kampf. But here's what the article actually said, because nobody bothered to read it. The tweet thread went viral, quickly sprawling into a conversation about free speech and cancel culture, which we're experiencing. But the thing is, the cancel isn't taking. And that's why the entire movement is very upset right now. Nothing pisses off the liberal left and progressives more than when they try to cancel someone and it doesn't work. Netflix has suspended Phil along with 2 other employees for trying to attend a director-level meeting they weren't invited to. Another trans employee is quitting the company over how the special and Field's comments were handled. I'm pretty sure Netflix let Fields say whatever the hell they wanted. 2, these people tried to storm a director's-level meeting. I don't know what jobs you work at, but I know for a fact, if I tried to storm a director's-level meeting in any office building I ever set foot in, it would end in me being arrested and escorted out of the building. Losing a job would be the least of my troubles. But then again, cisgendered male, we are always expendable. This to me was a clear admission of dickery. Netflix didn't even fire the person. Later, I believe Fields quit Netflix because they're upset. The Independent gags about killing women, declaring himself Team TERF. The comedian, when did he make a joke about killing women?
But the times when you get to be legitimately violent against women is one of the joys in life.
Gags about killing women, declaring himself Team TERF. The comedian who once poked fun at racists now specializes in mean-spirited punching down humor. Okay. I don't know how you can read this. I don't know how you can read Team TERF and not giggle a little bit. The dude even made a joke about being sexually molested. They don't care about that. Who cares about that? Meet the new Dave Chappelle, a misogynistic, anti-trans, and socially irresponsible. What fun would it be if comedy went woke?
But people don't care what I'm saying right now. Everybody wants to control other people, what they say, what they think. Everybody. Even people that you'd go to see with the express purpose of having a different opinion, like a comedian, hypothetically. Yes, a lot of people focused on comedians' language. Yeah, it's been really fun watching comedy become woke. And because, look, bloggers tell me all the time, they say, as a comedian, don't you realize you're supposed to evolve with your audience? And that is true. That's actually why I got into comedy, so I could march in lockstep with society's contemporary convention.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, we come to the part of the program which is always my favorite because it means something.
This video is sponsored by the Galaxy Lamp 2.0. The Galaxy Lamp Projector 2.0 with the blue lights, which is my personal favorite. And trust me guys when I say this, women love it. It's like cats with laser pens. I'm not quite sure why the cat is into it, but I'm not going to stop using it. It has unlimited color options and adjustable brightness within the app. Don't feel like using your phone with it? Well, you can always use the settings button that's located on the side of the projector itself. It has 6 different color pattern settings. You can also set timers and schedules with the app. It comes with 360 rotation, dynamic projections, a 3-stand system that allows you to prep it up almost any way you want, including up against the walls, to create multiple levels of ambience. This is probably best used for bedrooms or if you're a streamer and you want like a really cool sort of nebula thing going on in the background. Go to galaxylamps.co/itsagundam to save 15% on your order now, or click the link in the description. The Verge also put this one out recently. Netflix trans employees and allies release a list of demands ahead of the walkout. The Trans Employee Research Group, which includes trans and non-binary colleagues, as well as numerous allies, want Netflix to immediately take steps below to begin and repair a relationship between the company and our colleagues and our audience. Specifically, we want the company to adopt measures in the areas of content, investment, employee safety, and harm. It's a fucking comedy special.
No, we live in a world now where everything is so PC, you
right.
can't say anything. And I mean, let's face it, after Theresa May dancing, we need to laugh. You know, you really need to laugh.
You clearly are identifying as a woman right now.
Well, more as a clown. More as a
Right.
clown. Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, it's theatrical purposes. So, you know, it's an actor. This is the packaging to get away with murder. You know, if I didn't wear this, they'd say I'm just a bitter... They'd say I'm him.
There's all there's to it. You know what's funny? Ricky Berwick and Crip Daddy are 2 cripple guys I follow on Twitter. They make some of the funniest shit running. Both of them can't even hold a cone of ice cream. Neither one. Well, maybe Ricky could do it if he used both of his hands. And they don't even really work properly. You've seen Ricky. Everybody knows Ricky. These 2 guys are some of the most ruthless motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. Like, I remember someone was complaining about like disabled comedy, and the lady got roasted by Ricky Berwick. And all I could think was like, I bet that with her for weeks. You're sitting there thinking you're championing something, and then a guy who can't even walk comes in to tell you what a p you are. I said, God bless him. Because that's comedy. That's humor. And thank God for it. Being self-aware and fully accepting of yourself that you could take a joke. As a straight man, I could tell you every day I'm reminded that I'm evil in some fashion. Whether I'm stoic, I've been told that's bad. I've been told not showing emotions are toxic. If you don't make enough money for women, you're toxic. You're a problem. You didn't go to college. Wow, how selfish of you. There are women who are graduating college and they can't find equally educated men. And I said, well, how about this? How about Miss College Educated dates a plumber?
Let's blow those whining women back to the dark ages right where they belong.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've seen men that make 6-figure marry hairdressers. You know why? Because women don't want to marry down. Okay, let's move. We're going someplace else. All right, let's see these demandments. Consent and create a new fund to specifically develop trans and non-binary talent. Oh my God. Now because people like Dave Chappelle's show, you now have to come up with money for people that probably aren't funny and interesting. Dare I say it, if you've seen TikTok as of late, most of the trans and non-binary people on there aren't funny, they aren't interesting, but they are sure as annoying.
At Burger King with my Burger Queen, can I get a large fry? She's vegan, please, so don't put no cheese, with some honey mustard on the side. Got my Burger Queen, her Burger King. Yeah. Got my Burger Queen, her Burger Crown.
Sad. Very sad. Sad.
Let's give them a show. There's your show, Netflix. Get some of these little f***ers from TikTok to talk to me while I'm tied to a chair and see how long it takes before I break.
My friend Moth later. Bug just dyed Bug's hair and it's a super cool green color right now. I think we're gonna go to Bug's house and play some video games.
How long can It's a Gundam withstand Bug Pro now? The fund should support both above the line ATL and below the line BTL talent. What the hell is that? What is ATL? Is that Atlanta? Holla? That's the only ATL I know. BTL? What is BTL? I know BTST, or is it BST? Whatever, the little Korean guys that look like lesbians that girls seem to be in love with. Oh my God. He looks like he has a vagina. I can't take it, Stacy. I'm so hot. This fund should exist in addition to existing creative equality funds. Yeah, go do that. Netflix has so many of these shows that are supposed to be woke and hyper progressive, and they get canceled like within one season because they suck. Good Lord, you know what Netflix should do? Give me a show. You might actually make some money like you did with Dave Chapelle. I'd be canceled online, but who cares? I'd be rich by then. The fund should exist in addition to the existing creative equity fund. Increase investment in trans and non-binary content in Netflix comparable to our total investment in transphobic content, including marketing and promotion. Well, if you think Dave Chappelle's special is transphobic, then anything on this planet that's cisgendered has a sense of humor is Hitler to you, most likely. This is supposed to point out how nutty some of this is. And I'm over my 10-minute mark, so me. I was online, right? And I saw this ridiculousness. Student at ultra-liberal school that costs $80,000 a year to attend, Oberlin College, I probably read it wrong. I don't care. I didn't go to a college. Complains that contractors hired to install radiators in women and trans-safe space dorm were cisgendered men. This was a problem for this person. A cisgendered man doing normal straight men doing manual labor was enough to send this person into a catatonic state. And I know what you're gonna say. That's not what catatonic means. No it's a funny word, so I used it. That's humor. Do you get the joke? Probably not. You want me canceled. Peter Frey attends $80,000 school. He wrote an op-ed Friday in the campus newspaper, the Oberlin Review. I got it wrong. Complained of cisgendered men sent to install radiators in dorm room. He lives in Baldwin Cottage, a safe space for women and transgendered students. He criticized the school for not installing radiators during the summer. He says residents are victims of abuse and have a fear of cisgendered men. Well, get over it. Like, what's wrong with this person? Who do you think does manual labor? Who do you think picks up your garbage? I assure you, the dude who gets my trash is not non-binary. If I went out there and said, Frank, what's your gender? He would go, are you stupid? But for real, this is how far gone these people are. The hyper-progressives. The very idea of a cisgendered dude, a straight man, installing a radiator scared them to death. Like, Jesus Christ. $80,000 a year school. Kick him out. This person isn't fit. What are they going to do in life? What are they going to do if they can't handle this? Like, it just blows my mind when people do, oh, it was a cisgendered man fixing the telephone wires. And nobody uses those anymore. You know, broadband internet. You know why? Because straight men do manual labor. Everything nobody wants to do. You know what feminists never complain about? You never hear feminists say, oh my God, there's not enough women working in sewage. No, every time you hear feminists complain, it's about there's not enough women in the Fortune 500 top CEOs. Because that's who they want to be. They want to be at the tippy top. Nobody wants to work at the bottom, making sure the whole system works. Invest in multiple trans creators to make both scripted and unscripted program across genres. Boy, that sounds like fun. Revise internal process on commissioning and releasing potential harmful sensitive content, including but not limited to involving parties who are a part of subject community and can speak potential harm and consulting with third-party expert vendors. See this garbage? This is why YouTube sucks now, because they bow to this sort of stuff all the time. This is why YouTube's no fun anymore. People sit there and go, you're not as funny as you used to be. I have to deal with this sort of stuff is like in a YouTube TOS. This is censorship. This is literally that. Dave Chappelle made some jokes that you didn't find funny, and now you're gonna try and twist Netflix's arm up its asshole to fund shows nobody's gonna watch. It's like, pay us, we're here, and we weren't happy with something. Well, that logic. I'm 100% sure all of us in America feel the same. You know what? I'm not happy. Where's my money? You want a show? Here's an idea. Do something funny or interesting. Increase the ERG role in conversations around potentially harmful content and ensure we have the best-in-class regional support on complicated intersectional diversity issues. Higher trans and non-binary content exclusivity. This is basically extortion. I'm sorry. Anyone who's looking at all of this and going, "Yes, Queen," is out of their mind. Look at this. Recruit trans people, especially biopic, for leadership roles in the company. Yes. Have you ever heard of a minority group that held so much power? Don't worry, there's some celebrities in support of this. You may have heard of them. Jonathan Van Ness, Angelica Ross will join the PSA for Netflix protest over Dave Chappelle's Closer. Yes, how harmful and terrible. I'm glad that these very important celebrities are doing this. I bet if this doesn't reek of clout chasing, what does? Don't worry, Channing Tatum also got in on it. I'm not reading Channing Tatum stuff because he made the most pointless, stupid Instagram post ever. Channing Tatum says he hates how Dave Chappelle's special has hurt so many people with his comedy routines.
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
This is a re-edit number 3 or 4, and I'm sick of this video. I'm sick of this subject, but I felt this was worth adding. Vito, who you might remember recently for ratting out Gary from Friday Night Tights for having Alex Jones on YouTube on Twitter, went to the Netflix rally, the meme, carrying a sign. It went about as well as you'd expect from very tolerant people.
Ashley Marie Preston for organizing this wonderful event to hold people accountable. Give a round of applause for Ashley Marie Preston.
Oh my.
It was a lot of intolerance. He shows up with a sign that just basically says, "Jokes are funny, and we like Dave."
He's a monster.
Of course, the crowd then moves into action like fire ants. They take Vito's sign and they proceed to break it.
Why is he breaking my sign? Why is he breaking my sign?
There we go, break the sign. Now here's the best part.
He's got a weapon! He's got a weapon! He's got a weapon!
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
They hand Vito the stick and start screaming he's got a weapon. This right here, if there was any goodwill from rational people for this movement right here, which is literally like Stonewall for people with nothing better to do, they lost it right here in this one foul swoop. Before, I thought it was funny, and I laughed at it and did a video about that I was going to cut into here. But here's where it gets more insidious. Vanity on Twitter ran a story that went counter to what actually happened. The Netflix walkout hashtag, which is intended to showcase solidarity with the trans community, grew tense at certain points as protesters clashed with vocal crowds of the comedian's fans. At times, the hashtag Netflix walkout situation threatened to devolve as a counter-protest pushed against the trans speakers. If you watch this video that has now been taken down off of Twitter because it's very easy for anyone to do fake copyright claims because Twitter is retarded, you will see that Vito does none of these things. He stands there as he's pushed back by protesters, and one of them keeps screaming something stupid repeatedly.
Oh, you want me to drop my weapon? Yes. Get in me. There's my weapon.
Something like repent as they took away his sign and threw it away. This is all that happened. Nothing. There was no clash. There was no fight. Nothing. Even Christina Summers tweeted about it, showing a link of what actually happened, posting it at Variety. And then someone sprung immediately into action to get it copyright claimed. Vito himself did it. Guess what? Copyright claimed. So yeah, there you go. trying to control the narrative and make it seem like the situation was like on the edge of being at the boiling point and it was going to turn into fights when that wasn't what was happening. See, this is the problem. When people try and control a narrative, try and control speech, and then try and use being a minority group as a battering ram. And nobody's going to question this otherwise on Twitter and go, wait, people did say that didn't happen. But most of media and celebrities and whatnot, they're not gonna look into this and figure out what's going on. They're just gonna go, oh, I stand with them. But then again, celebrities just do lip service to make sure they keep working in this industry because nobody gives a shit about anybody, honestly. Everybody's full of shit. And they hate people who tell you the truth like me. I don't care about anything. That's why they want me gone. Hello and welcome back. This is edit number 4 or 5. The communist was assaulted at the parade as well. I added that to the video, where they threw his head into a concrete circular thing. Because why not? He's a bigot. The Associated Press, the AP, also put up a photo that read a caption such as this. Comedian and videographer Vito screams profanities as he engages with peaceful protesters, begging him to leave. Now, thankfully, Jess Signal picked up on this on Twitter, and he has a check mark, which means somebody will pay attention to what the hell he has to say. He then made it his mission to point out how far off the AP was. In fact, I can play you the video myself.
I'm just here to say that jokes are funny, people. Dave Chapelle, funny guy. I love Dave. I don't know why all the violence. I don't know why I hate. I just love Dave Chapelle. Dave Chapelle!
Well, anyway, after the Associated Press being shown to have their information way wrong, the protesters weren't peaceful. They attacked Vito and broke his sign, then accused him of having a weapon. For God's sakes. I'm just a dude memeing on YouTube, and I'm a better journalist at times, and that frightens me, because I'm a douchebag. So the AP did this correction. Corrections, captions to remove references to Vito using profanities, which he did not do. At the moment the image was made, he didn't use profanities at all. You could say anything to that. At the moment this photo was taken, Vito didn't beat his wife half to death. Like, Jesus Christ. Also removes references to protesters being peaceful because one protester destroyed his sign. And other protesters threw the communists into a concrete slab. It was pretty peaceful, mostly peaceful protest. We've heard that before. Vanity, or is it Variety? I don't know. All these damn things. Variety also retracted their tweets that were misleading about what happened at the protest. And there you go. Welcome. This is totally fake news. I can't believe I have to use that stupid phrase, but that's exactly what it was. And if it wasn't for everyone on Twitter with more than one chromosome and a moral compass higher than I want my side to win, being hyper vigilant and holding these journalists accountable for posting false information, nothing would have been done. I'm about to go puke now because I think the fish I had wasn't any good. And don't you dare sit there and tell me how to live my life. If you like this sort of garbage, you know, feel free to like it. Feel free to follow me on the socials. There's numerous ways to support me. You can even buy a stupid t-shirt where I'm depicted as Jesus. It's called the Meme Lord. Oh, I'm really sick. Oh, I also forgot to mention that it seems like the quartering was pointing out that allegedly the person who broke the thing and started screaming Vito had a weapon could possibly be a writer at Netflix. So that's interesting. I'm not going to say the name or anything because I can't confirm it. And I'm not even bothering getting wrapped up in a whole bunch more stupid drama over literally a comedy special. I don't have a pony in the race. It's just common sense. Satire, no matter how biting or expletive written, is an important form of expression. Just as a comedian's monologue can be used to satirize a perceived social pomposity, ridiculousness, or hypocrisy, so too can comic books or graphic novels. In the decades since Lenny Bruce's passing, First Amendment advocates have fought hard to combat those who would censor speech by applying vague obscenity standards and creating subjective definitions of redeeming social importance and community standards.